Hi, and welcome. This is what are we going to call this, Jimmy? By the way,
yeah.
I'm Cy Kellett.
And
This
I'm
is Jimmy Akin.
Jimmy Akin, and this is our pre-show today. It's
Yes.
our show before the show. And
Right. Show before the show.
I know what we can call it, at least temporarily.
Okay.
I suggest Catholic Answers More, because we're going to give the people who tune in
More.
a little more.
A little more Catholic answers.
Today, we're experimenting. It's a pre-show. We might make it a post-show some days, but we're trying it out.
Okay. Well, I have done this, Jimmy, to try to prepare. I've got the YouTube page up right here, so that I can see the comments that come. And so if anybody wants to ask a question or something like that, I'll be able to see it.
I've got the Facebook page up.
Okay. So we are ready. And the thing is, it's like a little bit behind. Is yours a little bit behind? So it's weird.
It's going to be lagged.
So I see this guy talking.
We should ignore our images.
Ignore
and
yourself.
Focus on the comments. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to try to. Well, I'm not. Maybe I should have figured this out before we got on the air.
Hey, we're experimenting.
Maybe
that's what experiments are all about, is figuring stuff out.
I'm gonna start with a question for you, Jimmy.
Okay.
I thought of this one, and I know we have discussed this before, and you have given me a.
Oh, Margot Basso says hi, guys.
Oh, hey, Margot Basso, how are you? Which camera are we on? Is it this one right here? Is it all three? Okay. Hi, all three. Hey, Margot.
She says hi back. Also have Debbie Ketchum saying an extra 10 minutes is wonderful news. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Debbie. Thanks very much. It's probably going to be a horrible hour of radio, though, because we're not prepped. We'll just be here. I'm sorry, that was negative.
It's a Q&A.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be a Q&A hour, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And I did have all day to prep.
Yeah.
So,
well.
Although I did a lot of writing today. But, Jimmy, my question for
Yes,
you,
your question.
Out of all the heresies in the history of the church, what's your favorite heresy?
Well, I don't like any of them. I mean, they're heresies, dude.
I know, but there's got to be some that are more appealing to you than others. No, let me put it. I got a different way to ask it.
Okay.
If you were,
Thank you.
If you were vulnerable to a particular heresy, how about that one? In your life, which would you have been most vulnerable
You're
to?
asking like square circles and stuff.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
You don't think you could have been tempted at any point?
Okay, so I come from a Protestant background, but that's how I was raised.
Oh, yeah.
But in terms of in terms of heresies, I mean, if you're asking about favorites, I would put it this way. I would say it's better to look at heresies in terms of how far they deviate from the truth. Because some obviously deviate farther than others.
Right.
Like Arianism, and Arianism was very bad. For those who may not know, Arianism is the view that there is a God and he made the universe and he's good and he has this son named Jesus Christ, but the son is not God. The son is a creature. It's like kind of a super angel.
Can I just interrupt you real quick? Is that kind of like Jehovah's Witnesses?
It is very similar to Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay. And so Arianism is bad. It deviates from the truth in very substantial ways, not recognizing the divinity of the Son or the Holy Spirit. But it's not as far from the truth as Gnosticism. Because Gnosticism won't even go as far as Arianism. It's got a whole bunch of divine beings and with different degrees of divinity. And according to Gnostics, at least most of them, the world was made by an inferior celestial being, and therefore the world is a bad place.
Yeah.
So it even acknowledges less of the truth about God and his world than Arianism does. So there's kind of a spectrum. Yeah. And I don't have any favorites along the spectrum, but I do recognize that some are farther from the truth than others.
I really don't like Marcionism.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you throw out the entire Hebrew Bible.
Yeah, well, Marcion was for those who may not know, he was a guy that lived in the 2nd century. He was a shipbuilder from Pontus, which is in Turkey, and he came to Rome and didn't get his ideas popularized there the way he wanted. He thought also that the God of the Old Testament was a bad guy.
Oh, that's right. There was two different
There's two gods for Marcion.
I forgot that part.
And the God of the New Testament was a good guy, but the God of the Old Testament and the God of the Jews was a bad guy. And so what Marcion did, among other things, was he produced an edition of the New Testament where he used only an edited down version of the Gospel of Luke and an edited down version of Paul's epistles to get rid of all the Jewish stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's mean. So what if you learned to fly in Pontus? Come on. You'll be a Pontius Pilate.
Oh,
What?
There you
Come
go.
on,
I
Jimmy.
wasn't going for that. I was going for something involving ships and airplanes.
Oh, okay. I thought. Okay, I found out how to see my comments on
good.
YouTube. So,
Uh-huh.
quotation mark says hello. Manny D says hello. Victoria says sup, guys.
Prince Ocheze from Ghana says hello.
Oh.
That's nice.
Thanks for watching us in Ghana. And then, okay, so here's a question for you, Rob D. Did Pope Benedict XVI leave because of health and scandals?
He left primarily because of health. He
Yeah.
felt he didn't have the energy to go on and be able to give the office of the papacy the kind of energy that he felt it was best served by. Now, if he felt it would be better to let someone else who had more energy take over. That was the basic reason. Scandals, he wasn't driven out of office by scandal. In fact, before he did resign, he even talked about, because someone asked, under what circumstances would it be possible for a pope to resign? And he said that one wouldn't want to do it unless one just absolutely couldn't go on. One wouldn't want to do it when there was some massive problem. You'd want to at least weather the problem, and then maybe you could consider turning it over, which is what he in fact did. He waded through and dealt with the Vati leaks, problem, and then after that was resolved, that's when he decided to move on and let someone else be elected.
Did you ever hear anything about him from anybody, like how he's doing now? Or
Yeah, I hear he's doing well. He's living in a monastery there at the Vatican, and his health apparently has improved now that he's no longer carrying the immense weight of the papacy.
Right.
And I hear his legs are giving him some trouble, that he tends to use a walker now to get around, but he spends his days praying, playing the piano, and talking with people who come to visit him.
That's very nice. And I think the travel actually was setting him back health-wise. I think the trip to Cuba was really hard on him.
And I also think just the strain of being Pope, I mean, wow, that would be a huge amount of pressure.
Right. Do you think you can just order anything you want off the menu, like when you're Pope? Like,
I think that's probably not enough to compensate for all the
I'm
pressure.
just wondering.
of
Everything comes down to
Christians.
food for me, Jimmy. I'm just wondering if you could just say,
I think you could order pretty much whatever you want, but that's not really what
Eggs
the
Benedict.
papacy's about.
no. Sometimes I always feel like I take the low road and you take the high road, Jimmy.
Oh, well, as long as we both get to Scotland.
Scotland. Okay, thank you for taking the low road on that one. Alexandria Vasquez, thanks for watching. Who you got there? You got anybody to say hello to?
Well, I have several people. Lokeni Mohinoa says hi from New Zealand.
Oh man, you get all the world travelers.
Todd Salmonson says loves the show, and Alejandro Kefa Urbina wants to know, how much secular authority does the Pope have? Can he tell a president what to do, and how obedient must the president be? Well, the Pope does have secular authority. He's the head of Vatican City State, and so he can make laws and issue decrees that are binding on people in Vatican City State, but he doesn't have the ability to order a president of some other nation or to do anything in particular. He can exercise his teaching authority as the Vicar of Christ, but that's not the same as secular authority. So he couldn't, for example, order, like John Kennedy when he was president of the United States. He was Catholic. He couldn't order John Kennedy to do any particular thing via his secular authority as Pope. Same thing with any other Catholic head of state, and there are, of course, many Catholic heads of state around the world today. Pope does not have secular authority over them, only spiritual teaching authority.
Yep. The head of the UN is a Catholic from Portugal.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember his name now, and I can't even remember the name of the office. It's not president of the UN, a general secretary. I got to look that up.
Yeah, I'm not.
Portuguese
I'm
Catholic.
blanking on who the current. I keep thinking, well, there was Ban Ki-moon, and
It's
there's
after him.
Boutros Ghali, and
Apparently, this guy is pro-life too. I really don't know
good.
much about him. I just know that. Yeah,
Boutros Ghali was the name of the Animaniacs' pet fish.
I didn't know
It was,
that.
yeah.
It is an awesome name. We got about a minute 30 before we're on the air, Jimmy. Anything you want to cover before we get there? Oh, I got to get ready to be on the air too. My headphones
you
are
got
coming off
to
for a second.
take off the headphones. Do a quick Quick change, artist. Get
Yep.
the sweater off.
Sweater off and roll up the sleeves.
Roll up the sleeves. Okay, time to go to work.
That's
then.
my prep. Yep.
Yeah.
Getting ready
Hey,
to go to work here.
And we're now in the 2-minute window. As people may know, we go on the air live at 3:02 Pacific time. It's 6:02 Eastern time. So after the beginning of the hour, there's this 2-minute scramble. But today, since we did our pre-show, Catholic Answers More, we didn't have the scramble. So we just have a few more moments, and then we'll go.
Do you think we scrambled like in those 2 minutes right before the show?
Well, there tends to be kind of a scramble there. As
Can I
all
tell
the
you what the
last
scramble
things
is?
get in place.
You're not going to like this.
Okay.
It's us going, where's Jimmy?
No, it's everybody going, where's Tim Staples?
Well, no, we're just totally saying Tim will be here. He will come.
I have a really good record for showing up on time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, I have never had Tim Staples come in late. It's just he makes you.
You're new.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't know that. I hope Tim's not watching.
No, I would imagine not. But it's all in good fun anyway.
Yeah. Yes, all in good fun. All right, well, so what do we got? 10, 15 seconds?
We got about 5 seconds now.
Oh.
Yep. Oh, so we're
And they
gonna,
keep the clock up there. That's why I always look up. By the way, if you're watching.